Yum, 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 yum.
So weird. Put the eyes on me. Mean. People think I'm there. I'm fed. I'm around. I got it. People are super confused. I ain't even fucking started. When you come from dirt, that dirt never leaves you. When you come from fighting for yours, that fight's always in you. Don't get the headlines and the accolades and the trophies and the decimal points confuse you. This little memo's for everybody who knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. The masses are confused, but I'm not. Ground zero every fucking day. Think I did something in the last 10 years? Wait. We are living through a transformative technology known as the internet. It is now finally 25 years old and mature. Everybody has it. Everybody has it all the time. And the whole world is getting flipped upside down. And you have an opportunity to take a piece of it. The problem is everybody wants to take the whole piece. Everybody's like, Gary, I'm going to build the next Twitter or Uber or Facebook. Everybody's going to build $1 billion company. News alert, you're not building $1 billion company. How about just building a company that you like and makes you happy? How about just doing something you like every day? Everybody's got it, right? Like, how about that? How about people in here realizing that they have a job that might pay them a little bit more than something else, but they hate it, but they're not willing to live in a more humble home or drive a more humble car, and so they have a miserable job just to pay for shit that they have to impress other people that they don't even like. How about that fucking conversation? It has never been easier, and I don't like using the word easy, but I'm going to say it. It has never been easier to make $100,000 a year because of this. The problem is everybody thinks you have to make $1 billion, and the problem is nobody has humility to live a $100,000 lifestyle. I think we have to change the conversation in our society. 7 billion people need to change the conversation of what success looks like. It is not to make $1 billion. It is to actually wake up in the morning and be in a good mood. And whether that is me, who loves the game of entrepreneurship so much that he goes so hard every day because he just loves what he does, or if it's somebody who only wants to work 25 hours a week because all their other passions are so interesting to them, and that's what is good for them, we have to allow for everything. We have to allow for everything because everything is true and everything is real. And you need to figure out, my biggest fear of my popularity is that you think you have to do it like me. The only hope I have when you look at me is that you try to figure out your version of you that makes you as happy as my version of me makes me. I want to remind everybody here, I'm 43 years old, which means when I loved entrepreneurship in America, nobody else did. It was not popular. So I loved this thing before it was this thing. And guess what? When the economies collapse, everybody's going to go off of entrepreneurship and go back to a job, and I'm going to still love this thing. When it's not as cool as it is today. When there isn't sneakers and fans, I'm going to still like it because it's mine. I've always done it, and I always will. You need to figure out that for you. Not what your parents think, not what I think, not what the comments think, you. Yeah. The single biggest thing, in my opinion, that the majority of these people in this room are doing wrong. This is number one. I believe that 98% of the people in this arena right now buy too much dumb shit. I have become crazy fascinated as I've lived my life of trying to understand why the fuck so many of my parents, immigrants, friends, other immigrants, and just immigrants in general have a disproportionate success rate in the framework of America. And I finally figured it out. They're not smarter. It's not even necessarily that they work harder. It's that they come to America and they buy nothing stupid for 15 fucking years. They just live like shit, buy nothing, save money, buy a business, and move on. The level of insecurity that is permeating this country so that people end up buying cars and houses and clothes that they can't afford to impress people that they don't even like is the great epidemic in our society. I get to say this from truth. I lived my 20s, all my 20s, 22 to 29, my 20s in a shitty fucking apartment in Springfield, New Jersey. I didn't buy any fucking clothes. I didn't have swag fucking sneakers. I didn't come on no fucking vacations. I just fucking worked and saved money. And I was building a business for my parents, not even for myself. So when I tell people to be patient, it's easy because I lived it. I don't stand up here ever talking about shit that I didn't actually do first. And so, if you're not pumped, if you're not like loving life, before you try to figure out the book or the secret, or if you think Tony's gonna reach into your fucking brain, or I'm gonna give you some fucking secret that you on fucking Instagram that's gonna change everything. Before you think about that, go home and look at your fucking credit card bill and stop buying dumb shit. Because when you don't buy dumb shit, that's what you see in your fucking bank, and you can do something with your fucking life. Instead of having a new pair of fucking off-whites, who the fuck you flossing for? Fuck. Fuck. Chicago? You think somebody's gonna like you better because you're fucking got a new house and shit? Jesus. And that is what is most interesting about this place. Because if you want to look at this place in a negative way, it's super easy. Because everybody's fucking face lighting on Instagram. You mean people here are going to be hiking this weekend for the fucking stupid pictures? They don't want to go hiking. They just want to get a couple of likes on Instagram. I know people who jump the fence at night at private Sweden airports to take a photo because they pretend they fly private. You fucking understand what's going on? And then it gets deeper. There are people in bullshit relationships right now posting photos of themselves on vacation acting like they're fucking happy. My friend, this is a manifesto in Chicago this morning about executing on truths. That's it. And let me give you very basic truths. If you spend money on shit you don't need, you're going to lose. If you buy those things to impress other people, you've already lost. You need to take a step back and understand what you're doing. This is not a conversation today about making more money. Success means being happy. Not how much money you have. We are in the middle stages of mental unhappiness, mental issues in our country predicated on a lot of different things, not paying the piper in 2009 like we should have, just getting out of this threat. But we all got bailed out. On the greatest generation of fun parenting I've ever seen in my life. My favorite thing going on in the world right now is 20 to 60-year-olds shitting on millennials when they were the fuckers that raised those people. That's my favorite shit. These kids are so soft. No shit, kid. You gave them big place jewelry. These kids don't get feedback. Well, no shit, kid. When the teacher comes at them, you raise them to the floor and fucking fall like an asshole. Let's actually talk about music. Micro music is the greatest thing. I stand here in front of you today because the first 15 years of my life, the world told me I suck, and I lost at everything. I sucked at school, I wasn't big enough for sports, everything fucking sucked. That's right, bro. But we're fucking here now! And we're here now because a singular person in my life, my mother, instilled such disproportionate self-esteem without creating entitlement. When I was nice to people, she fucking praised the shit out of me. When I struck out in the game, she didn't make the sense of shit was great. She said the picture was better than you, kid. The fine line. How many of you consume my content? I'm going to give you a secret I've never said. All I am is the puppet and the byproduct of Gary Vaynerchuck. What I'm trying to do for you is what she did for me. What Tamara, my mom, Vaynerchuck, did for me was she positively and optimistically gave me a framework of the world, but she didn't create entitlement. Because when I lost, I lost. And when I won, I won. So when you look at my content, certain times it feels fucking a little rough and a little energy, and other times it's warm and fuzzy. If you can focus this, everybody thinks that the big size, but the big shit is not country right now. People think it's a big size. Everybody starts with zero bombs. I'll remind everybody that everybody starts with zero bombs. In 2007, when Twitter hit the scene, I spent 8 hours a day, between 7 p.m. and 2 in the morning, going on Twitter and replying to every single person that mentioned anything about wine for 6 hours a day for 4 years, and still nobody knew who the fuck I was. So when I hear people put out reposts on LinkedIn after a keynote like this, and then email me and say, hey guys, loved you in Chicago, great talk, but gotta tell you, you're wrong. And I replied, what happened? Well, I posted on LinkedIn and nothing good has happened. And then I asked, how long have you been doing it? And I posted twice for the last 2 weeks. And I replied, you're a fucking asshole. I just looked at the student, like, you know when you can feel like, how is anybody confused that it takes, let me say it very slowly, an obnoxious amount of work to create any level of success? There's so much confusion in the system about the amount of work ethic that needs to be deployed to actually have success. Let me tell you this, anybody you've ever met that made it worked their fucking face off. You know people that are rich that didn't. They inherited it, but they didn't make it. And the confusion of the 1 or 2 stories you hear about when it happened fast, like Instagram or Facebook, has confused everybody. And the amount of excuses we put into the system so that we don't have to do that work is remarkable. What's interesting is, the reason I have such a good framework on this is because I am one of the great all-time worst students in the history of this country. I mean it. I literally never opened a book in high school, did all my Scantron tests, CBC, BA, CBA. If there's any kids in the crowds, I'm going to give you a real good secret if you're in public schools. They just push you through. The reason I watch people live for the weekend and love Friday like it's the greatest shit ever because they hate their Monday through Friday so fucking much. The reason I hear the system's broke, my boss is a dick, it doesn't work for me, I'm not for that, it's just excuses not to do. It's the same shit I did from 1st grade to 12th grade because I didn't want to do that bullshit homework that meant nothing in real fucking life. The problem is, that shit ended when I was 18. You've got the rest of your life. Which gets me back to this. This thing freaks me out so much you can't imagine, because the one thing this thing is actual opportunity that our grandparents didn't grow up with. This thing allows you to still be practical and maintain the job that you hate so you can pay off your student loans and your mortgage, but create your side hustle on here around the shit that you actually love, whether that's the fucking Chicago Bears, whether that's fucking sneakers, whether that's doing comedy skits, whether that's reincarnating the formula that your grandmother had for soup from your country that you're now going to sell direct to consumer on the back of Uber Eats. I don't give a fuck what ridiculous thing comes out of your mouth. This thing, if you make content on it and understand where people actually pay attention, actually gives you a prayer for that to happen.